Everything you can imagine is real. The conception of reality, how imagination shapes our world. Written and published by MindLixer. Consider for a moment the vast expanse of the cosmos, the endless cycle of time, or the profound depths of human consciousness. These themes ignite a sense of wonder, don't they? Yet, they all share a common thread woven intricately into the fabric of our existence: imagination. It is the engine of our reality, propelling our perspectives, fueling our creative endeavors, and shaping the very world we inhabit. Imagination isn't just a fleeting fancy or a momentary diversion from the mundane. It is a powerful, indispensable tool that molds our experiences and governs the way we interpret the universe around us. From the moment a child grasps the concept of make-believe to the revolutionary insights that redefine society at large, imagination is the invisible hand that guides the brush of humanity's story. The power of imagination to construct our view of reality is both subtle and profound. It begins with perception, the way we see, hear, feel, taste, and smell the world. These sensory experiences are the raw materials of our reality, but they don't become meaningful until the mind weaves them into a coherent narrative. Imagine walking through a forest, the towering trees, the rustling of leaves, the scent of earth. These sensations are interpreted by your brain to form your personal experience of that forest. But imagination doesn't stop there. It embellishes, it twists, it colors, and it amplifies. You might envision the echoes of ancient civilization beneath the undergrowth, or the subtle exchange of energy between every living organism. Imagination deepens our experience and extends it beyond the immediate, tactile world. Throughout history, imagination has been the cornerstone of innovation and societal advancement. Every invention, from the simple wheel to the complexities of the internet, began as a figment in someone's imagination. The curiosity that led mankind to gaze upon the stars and dream of exploration is the same force that spurred the development of the telescope, allowing us to peer into the heavens. Imagine a world without flight, where human beings are forever shackled to the ground, never to experience the thrill of soaring through the sky. It was once such a world, until individuals like the Wright brothers dared to dream of something different, to challenge the accepted limits and conceive a new reality where humans could defy gravity. Imagination is the first step toward realization. It maps the realm of possibilities and encourages us to venture into the unknown. Even in our daily lives, imagination wields an undeniable influence. It bridges gaps in understanding, allowing us to empathize with others by picturing ourselves in their shoes. When faced with someone else's sorrow or joy, it's the power of imagination that permits us to comprehend their emotions, to share in their pain or their happiness. This empathetic aspect not only facilitates human connection, but is also the cornerstone of constructive social interactions. Through imagination, we construct scenarios, predict outcomes, strategize, and solve problems. Suppose you're facing a challenging situation at work. It is the ability to conjure up various approaches and mentally rehearse potential solutions that often lead to breakthroughs. This form of imaginative play is not child's play, rather, it's an adult's most sophisticated tool for navigating the complexities of the world. Moreover, imagination is a sanctuary for the human spirit. It's a refuge from the trials of life, a space where one can find solace in the creation of alternate realities. Literature, art, and music are all born from the wellsprings of imaginative thought, providing us with windows into other worlds. Think of the books that transport you to distant lands, the paintings that evoke emotions without a single word, or the songs that resonate with your deepest inner thoughts. All these artistic expressions harness imagination to communicate what often cannot be said directly. Through these mediums, artists share their visions, challenge preconceptions, and invite others to view the world from a fresh perspective. Imagination also acts as a catalyst for personal growth and self-discovery. When we dream of the person we wish to become or the life we aspire to lead, we are engaging in a profound act of self-imagination. These visions guide our choices, inspire our actions, and shape our future. Without the faculty to imagine a different state of being, we are prisoners of the present, incapable of propelling ourselves towards our desired destiny. Imaginative thought offers us a glimpse of what could be, igniting the spark within us to strive, to struggle, and ultimately to evolve. However, in our increasingly rationalized and technologically driven world, the value of imagination is often overlooked. We prioritize the measurable, the empirical, the concrete. Yet, without imagination, science lacks the creative leap necessary to forge new paradigms, industry misses the innovative thinking required to stay ahead, and education becomes a rote memorization of facts devoid of the critical thinking necessary to apply knowledge effectively. It is through imagination that theories are conceived, that abstract mathematical concepts find practical applications, and students are inspired to go beyond their textbooks to explore and discover for themselves. In the realm of social and cultural evolution, imagination has the ability to catalyze profound change. When Martin Luther King Jr. declared, "I have a dream," it was his powerful act of imagination that gave voice to a vision of equality and justice that had the power to move nations. Imagining a world free from prejudice, discrimination, and oppression is the first step toward creating it. It allows us to conceptualize ideals that don't yet exist and to strive collectively toward their realization. Imagination breaks down the walls of the status quo and constructs bridges toward a more enlightened, more humane society. Yet, the impact of imagination is not limited to external realities, it equally shapes our internal worlds. Our self-image, the confidence with which we tackle challenges, the resilience we display in the face of adversity, all are influenced by the way we imagine ourselves and our abilities. Positive visualization, a technique used by athletes, entrepreneurs, and individuals from various walks of life, involves picturing success before it happens, thereby enhancing the likelihood of its occurrence. Building mental models of success not only prepares us for the actions we need to take but also sets the stage for those actions to manifest in reality. When we tap into the power of imagination, we unlock a dimension of human potential that transcends the ordinary. It is a magical quality that allows us to venture beyond physical limitations, to create, to innovate, and to dream. Imagination translates the ethereal into the tangible, transforming fleeting thoughts into concrete actions. It invites us to question, to explore, and to envision a world not as it is, but as it could be. This is the essence of imagination's role in the conception of reality. It is the bridge between the world of ideas and the world of form, the canvas upon which the masterpiece of human experience is painted, and the thread that weaves the tape photographs of what it means to be alive. In a world that often prioritizes the analytical over the whimsical, understanding and embracing the power of imagination is more critical than ever. It is an invaluable resource, a renewable energy of the mind that fuels progress, fosters connection, and furnishes hope. To neglect the role of imagination in shaping our world is to deny ourselves the very tool that has carved the path of human advancement. As we continue to evolve and face new challenges, it will be through the power of imagination that we will find the solutions, build the dreams, and conceive the realities of tomorrow. So, let us nurture our imagination, encourage it in others, and watch as the world transforms before our very eyes, a testament to the boundless potential contained within the human mind. Beyond the senses, understanding imagination as a human faculty. Imagination is an enigmatic and yet an inherently familiar aspect of being human. It is the canvas upon which our minds can paint possibilities beyond the immediate input of our senses. When we begin to delve into the nature of imagination, it's essential to dispel the common misconception that it is merely a tool for the creative arts. In reality, imagination is a complex cognitive process that plays a critical role in how we navigate and interpret the world. To understand imagination as a human faculty, we must look at it from various angles, including its psychological functions, its impact on our perception, and its vital presence across different domains of our lives. One can argue that imagining is as natural to humanity as breathing. From the boundless fictional universes of children at play to the sophisticated theories conceived by scientists and philosophers, imagination is the engine of human progress and a key component of our adaptive success as a species. It enables us to consider scenarios that are not currently present, to reflect on the past, and to envision a future that is different from today. Imagination allows us to mentally explore the potential consequences of actions before we commit to them, giving us a distinctive advantage in decision-making and planning. Consider the role of imagination in the evolution of scientific thought. When Einstein envisioned himself chasing a beam of light, he wasn't merely daydreaming, he was using his imaginative capacity to conceptualize the theory of relativity, fundamentally altering our understanding of the universe. Imaginative thought experiments have often preceded some of the most critical advancements in science and technology, acting as precursors to empirical experimentation and discovery. Furthermore, imagination is not only about creating or predicting, it's about making sense of the world. It helps us interpret symbols and metaphors, understand abstract concepts, and empathize with others by imagining ourselves in their shoes. It bridges the gap between experiencing someone else's emotional state and our own by simulating how we might feel in their situation. This empathic use of imagination is a cornerstone of social interaction, building stronger relationships, enhancing communication, and fostering community. In educational settings, the fostering of imaginative thinking can pivot a learning environment from rote memorization to one that encourages innovative problem-solving and critical analysis. By imagining different approaches to a challenge, students can find unique solutions and grasp complex ideas more thoroughly. Educational systems that prioritize imaginative play and scenario-based learning tend to produce more independent, resourceful, and adaptable individuals who are well-equipped for the unpredictable nature of the world. In the workplace, imagination is equally vital. Business leaders often speak of thinking outside the box, a phrase that underscores imagination's role in overcoming challenges and developing novel solutions. Companies that encourage imaginative thinking in their workforce are more likely to lead in innovation, adapt to changes in the market, and survive turbulent economic times. Employees who harness their imaginative faculties can anticipate trends, visualize the impact of strategic shifts, and relate to clients' needs with more creativity and depth. Even in our personal lives, imagination is invaluable. When planning for the future, whether it's picturing the ideal holiday or imagining reaching personal milestones, imagination helps us set goals and work towards them. It allows us to conceive of a life different from our current reality, setting in motion the steps we need to take to make it a reality. Imagination can be a powerful motivator, driving us towards personal growth and fulfillment. At its core, imagination is integrally linked to the human capacity for curiosity and inquiry. It fuels our desire to question and to explore, broadening our understanding of the possible. Every field of human endeavor relies on imagination, from the architect imagining a skyline to the chef creating an innovative dish. Imagination is not only about the new and the revolutionary, it's about recombining existing ideas, perspectives, and experiences into something that might not yet exist but can be envisioned in the mind's eye. Let us also not forget the neuroscientific perspective, which underscores that imagining is a brain function involving a symphony of neural activity. While daydreaming or conjuring up images, our brain's network activates regions associated with memory, emotion, sensory processing, and even motor planning. This complex interaction suggests that imagination is not an isolated function but rather an intricate system involving various parts of the brain working together. In dissecting the anatomy of imagination, it helps to acknowledge that its expression is as diverse as humanity itself. Each individual uses imagination uniquely, influenced by personality, cultural background, experiences, and innate cognitive abilities. For some, imagining comes as vivid pictorial thoughts or narratives, while for others, it may be more abstract, involving senses, emotions, or concepts that aren't easily articulated. Despite its universality, the imaginative faculty often goes unrecognized as a force of personal and collective advancement. Yet, if we take the time to reflect on it, we realize that without imagination, we would be unable to progress beyond the constraints of the tangible world we inhabit. Imagination is the medium through which we journey into the unknown, challenge the status quo, and bring forth the new and the transformative. It is as much a part of human survival and evolution as any physical tool we have wielded since time immemorial. As we continue to seek ways to blend empirical knowledge with creative foresight, embracing our imaginative faculties could be our most important endeavor. By understanding and valuing imagination as a human faculty, we not only enrich our daily lives, but also chart the course for a future that is innovative, empathetic, and vibrant. In this realm of thought, imagination is indeed beyond the senses, a boundless landscape where human potential thrives and flourishes. It is the mental laboratory where the raw materials of knowledge, culture, and experience are transmuted into the gold of human achievement and progress. Bridging the gap, imagination's role in innovation and discovery. It is often said that necessity is the mother of invention, but it's the spark of imagination that lights the fire of innovation, turning the wheels of progress and discovery. From the legendary tales of Archimedes shouting Eureka upon discovering the principle of buoyancy, to the drafting of visionary tales that predated technological advancements by decades, we can see that imagination serves as the bridge between the realm of ideas and the landscape of tangible innovation. It is this unique human capacity to transcend the mundane and conceptualize the unprecedented that led to some of the most groundbreaking discoveries in history. When we speak about innovation and discovery, we inadvertently speak about the dance between what we know, what we believe we can create, and the territories we have yet to explore. Imagination is not just a passive dreamer's tool, it is the active ingredient in problem-solving and invention, pushing boundaries beyond the current states of science and art into new realms of possibility. The journey of innovation is underlined by countless stories of individuals who dared to see beyond the limits of their contemporary knowledge. It is here, within these acts of intellectual rebellion against the status quo, that we find the heart of discovery. For instance, during the grueling effort to create the first light bulb, Thomas Edison didn't simply rely on trial and error. He imagined a world lit not by flame but by a controlled, sustained glow, giving him the audacity to persist through countless failed experiments. Similarly, Marie Curie, driven by her vision of unlocking the mysteries of atoms, went beyond the known elements to discover radium and polonium, thereby initiating the dawn of atomic science. Imagination allows us not to accept the world as it is, but to ponder how it could be. It's the skill that enables entrepreneurs to visualize an industry that doesn't yet exist, as Steve Jobs did with personal computing and later with the iPhone, reshaping everyday life in the modern world. Imagination is equally crucial in fields as diverse as architecture, where imagining new spaces challenges conventional views of living, working, and social interaction, and in medicine, where imagining the eradication of disease leads to the relentless pursuit of vaccines and treatments that save millions of lives. Moreover, it's imagination that often provides the courage to fail. Innovation is not a straightforward journey, it is riddled with obstacles, doubts, and setbacks. Those who dare to innovate do so knowing that their first, second, or even 100th attempt may not succeed. Yet, it's the imagined potential of their endeavors that propsects them through adversity. They dream of a better future and then reverse engineer the dream into a series of challenges to overcome. Understanding the role of imagination in discovery also involves recognizing its social dimension. The collective imagination of a group, community, or society at large influences not only what is considered worthy of pursuit, but also the resources and support that innovators receive. Societal imagination can inspire collective action toward common goals, like the space race of the mid-20th century, which was as much a product of political will as it was of individual creativity. It can also incite social change, as when visionaries imagine a world with greater justice and equity, leading to the civil rights movements and reforms that reshape our moral landscape. But how do we cultivate an environment where imagination flourishes? It begins with education, where rote learning is balanced with creative problem solving and where students are encouraged to think sideways, not just straight ahead. It requires fostering a culture that values inquiry and experimentation over mere memorization. Companies and institutions aiming to be at the forefront of innovation emphasize the importance of creative thinking, encouraging employees to think outside the proverbial box and rewarding those who take intellectual risks. Part of harnessing imagination also requires engaging with different disciplines and perspectives. Often, the leap in innovation occurs at the intersection of diverse fields of knowledge. An observation that led to the theory of plate tectonics came from someone trained in meteorology and not geology. This blending of expertise and perspectives encourages a cross-pollination of ideas, where the limitations of one discipline are overcome by the strengths of another. As such, modern spaces like tech incubators and collaborative research centers are designed to foster this type of interdisciplinary exchange, increasing the likelihood of novel insights and groundbreaking solutions. To be sure, imagination is not without its perils. The same force that inspires us to reach for the stars can also plunge us into the depths of illusions when not grounded in knowledge and ethical consideration. The famed Icarus of Greek mythology serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of flights of fancy and tempered by pragmatic considerations. His imaginative ambition to fly led him too close to the sun, resulting in his downfall. In modern terms, this serves as a reminder that while imagination can indeed push us toward innovation and discovery, it must be tempered with critical thinking and responsibility to ensure that our creations serve humanity and not lead to its harm. Ultimately, the bridge between imagination and tangible innovation is constructed with the hard materials of persistence, knowledge, and collaboration, but it is designed with the blueprint of our dreams and fantasies. The story of human progress is one wherein we continuously craft new realities from the abstract clay of our collective imagination. As we stand on the precipice edge of the unknown, we can take solace in the fact that it has been the imagined, the once thought impossible, that has consistently carried us across the gap into new frontiers of understanding and achievement. The challenge, as always, is to hold that torch of imagination aloft, illuminating the path for the pioneers of tomorrow who will journey across bridges we can only dream of today. The power of visualization, imagining outcomes to drive success. Visualization, a seemingly simple act of using our imagination to create and run scenarios in the tapestry of our mind, often underestimated, is in truth one of the most powerful tools at our disposal for achieving success. Time and time again, successful athletes, entrepreneurs, and performers attribute a portion of their accomplishments to this practice of mental imagery, demonstrating not only its popularity but its effectiveness across a range of activities. At its core, visualization is the process of creating vivid, detailed mental images of desired outcomes. This is not daydreaming, which is often a passive activity. Visualization is active and purposeful. It involves focusing on specific goals and picturing oneself achieving them in the most minute detail, from the sounds that might be heard to the emotions that would be felt. The aim is to create such a realistic mental image of success that the mind and body begin to believe that this reality is not only possible, but within reach. One might ask why this mental exercise is so influential, and the reason is rooted in the power of the human brain. When we visualize, we stimulate the same neural networks that actual physical practice would engage. Research in the realm of neuroscience has shown that the brain does not distinguish well between real and imagined scenarios. The same regions light up, whether we are actually experiencing an event or simply envisioning it. This process can therefore enhance motivation, increase confidence, bolster performance, and prepare our nervous systems for the experiences we desire. Athletes are perhaps the most common proponents of visualization. Countless elite sports figures report utilizing visualization to perfect their performance and hone their competitive edge. Take gymnasts, for instance, who mentally rehearse their routines, visualizing each vault, twist, and landing to perfection before stepping onto the mat. Or basketball players who imagine the ball swishing through the net, time and time again, before they take an actual shot. They are priming their muscles and their minds for success. But the benefits of visualization extend far beyond the realm of sports. Consider the public speaker who, before facing an audience, closes their eyes and pictures themselves delivering a powerful presentation. They envision the audience's reactions, hear the applause, and feel the satisfaction of a well-received talk. This mental rehearsal can alleviate the fears and anxieties associated with public speaking while simultaneously improving performance. In the business world, successful entrepreneurs often speak of visualizing their company's future. They imagine building their businesses, visualize overcoming obstacles, and even attend meetings in their mind's eye before they occur, all with the objective of better preparing for the realities of their business lives. Visualization works as a mental sandbox, allowing them to prepare responses, strategies, and actions before they are needed. The power of visualization can also aid individuals in overcoming personal challenges, achieving lifestyle goals, and improving overall happiness. Visualization is a technique often used in therapy, for instance, where clients are guided to envision a happier, healthier self, thereby creating positive emotional states and motivation that can lead to meaningful changes in their behavior. Visualization is not a magic pill, nor is it a shortcut to success. However, when combined with hard work, determination, and a solid plan of action, it becomes a valuable ally in the pursuit of accomplishment. It is a process that begins with clarity. Knowing exactly what you want to achieve is crucial. This is followed by consistency. The most successful visualizers include this practice in their daily routines. They also harness the power of emotion. Feeling the pride, joy, or satisfaction of an achieved goal makes the imagined outcome seem even more tangible. To bring visualization into one's life doesn't require special skills or extensive training. It's an ability innate to all of us, requiring only dedicated time and a quiet space where distractions are minimized. Whether it be for a few minutes each morning or before a specific event, taking the time to imagine a desired outcome fully can be the first step towards making it a reality. Fostering this mental discipline can be transformative. By regularly engaging in visualization, it's possible to build an internal sanctuary of positive outcomes, a place to retreat to when doubts arise or setbacks occur. It's a space where the future success is a familiar friend, one that's been experienced in the mind's eye time and time again, waiting to be realized in the physical world. In many ways, the practice of visualization embodies the aphorism "seeing is believing." By repeatedly seeing the achievement in the mind, it reinforces the belief that it is achievable. This belief, in turn, fuels the drive to act, to strive, and to persevere. It is these actions, inspired by the vivid imaginations of what could be, that ultimately drive the wheel of success. As we navigate the complexities of life with its uncertainties and challenges, the ability to harness our imagination through visualization stands as a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of the human spirit. When combined with the real-world actions and strategies, visualization is not just a tool for envisioning success, it is a catalyst for bringing it to fruition. Storytelling and culture, imaginary worlds shaping real perspectives. In the tapestry of human culture, the threads of storytelling and imagination are intricately woven together, each reinforcing and enhancing the depth and color of the other. Storytelling, across all cultures and epochs, has been a conduit for the collective imagination, a way in which people could share their innermost dreams, fears, hopes, and beliefs. Through the creation of imaginary worlds in storytelling, real-world perspectives are not only mirrored but also shaped, influenced, and often challenged. What is enthralling about these narrative constructs is their profound impact on the very fabric of society. When we delve into a story, whether it be the epics of ancient civilizations or the speculative fictions of the modern era, what we're truly engaging with are the distilled essences of human experiences. These are wrapped in engaging plots, but underscored by universal truths and aspirations. The characters that spring forth, the challenges they face, and the worlds in which they exist serve as more than mere entertainment. They provide a framework for understanding our own lives and the society in which we live. Take, for instance, mythologies from around the world. Greek mythology with gods like Zeus and Athena, or the Norse gods like Thor and Odin, showcase not just pantheons of supreme beings, but serve to explain the unexplainable, to give reason to natural phenomena, and to impart moral lessons. Beyond their fantastical elements, these myths resonate with the shared hopes and fears of humanity. They create archetypes upon which we can model behavior or from which we can learn the consequences of hubris and the rewards of humility. Through these stories, cultural values are passed down, reinforced, and sometimes subverted. They reflect the collective psyche, and in turn, shape that psyche as each generation reinterprets them anew. Not only do such cultural narratives provide a sense of identity, but they also foster a shared set of values and a common history that binds a community together. When a child in New Zealand grows up hearing Maori tales, for instance, they inherit a worldview steeped in respect for nature and kinship, reflecting the very core of Maori philosophy. Similarly, an Indian child reared on stories of the complex and diverse Hindu pantheon learns about the multitude of paths one can take in life, exemplifying the diversity inherent within Indian culture. As we move from the realm of myth to that of literature and film, we see that imaginary worlds continue to shape real perspectives. Take for example the realm of Middle-earth created by J.R.R. Tolkien. This seemingly distant world of hobbits, elves, and men battling the forces of darkness speaks to audiences beyond the realm of fantasy enthusiasts. It draws a metaphorical line to our own world, tackling issues of power, corruption, friendship, sacrifice, and heroism. In a similar vein, the dystopian landscapes of George Orwell's 1984 or Aldous Huxley's Brave New World serve not as bleak entertainment but as cautionary tales that reflect and examine the times in which they were written, as well as the potential paths society could take. Such stories become a part of public consciousness, raising awareness, stoking debate, and inspiring action. Moreover, imaginary worlds give people a safe space to explore and confront social issues. They can provide the catalyst for critical thinking and discussion about real-life problems in a way that is one step removed from the rawness of the immediate reality. For example, the success of Marvel's Black Panther not only brought superhero fans to cinemas but also sparked conversations on representation, cultural identity, and the politics of power. The vivid, richly imagined nation of Wakanda became a symbol for the possibilities and potential of Africa, untouched by colonialism. While a fictional nation, its portrayal has had real-world implications, becoming a rallying point for movements that seek to empower and inspire. Children, especially, benefit from exposure to these imaginary worlds, as they offer more than just entertainment. Fairy tales, for instance, while often sanitized for modern audiences, still retain their core function of teaching kids about the dangers of the world and the virtues needed to navigate it. The imaginary world becomes a sandbox, a testing ground where young minds can experiment with concepts of bravery, morality, and social interaction. They learn about consequences, empathy, and the complexity of individual actions within a communal context. In the increasingly globalized culture of the present day, the realm of storytelling and the imaginary worlds they transport us to are now more accessible than ever. With this increased access comes a broader exchange of narratives, allowing for an unprecedented level of cross-cultural storytelling. This exchange enriches individual cultures by providing diversity in perspectives and fostering empathy. A child in the United States can now easily immerse themselves in the legends of the Aboriginal Dreamtime and vice versa, allowing for a greater understanding and appreciation of the other's heritage, struggles, and outlook on life. Imaginary worlds in storytelling also provide for an exploration of alternatives to current societal structures. They challenge the status quo by proposing worlds where different social, political, or economic systems govern daily existence. Through these explorative narratives, audiences can assess the values and shortcomings of their own worlds by contrasting them with the what-if scenarios presented in stories. This is where storytelling becomes not only reflective but also transformative. It can give voice to marginalized individuals and groups, offering perspectives that might otherwise be overlooked or denied a platform. It motivates and empowers people to envision change, to fight for better, more just worlds, both imaginary and real. As we move through the arcs and contours of these myriad stories, from ancient times to the digital age, the role of imaginary worlds in shaping real perspectives becomes ever clear. These narratives serve as the custodians of our collective memory, the challengers of our perceived limitations, and the harbingers of our potential futures. They carve out spaces where we can question, dream, and innovate. They allow us to redefine our understanding of society, our place within it, and our responsibility to it. Imagination, through storytelling, thus becomes more than just a means of escape. It is a powerful tool for reflection, education, and inspiration. As we immerse ourselves in stories, we are encouraged to look beyond what is to imagine what might be, and it is there, in the vibrant confluence of the imagined and the real, that perspectives are truly shaped, reshaped, and understood in their full dimensions. It is there that we find not only entertainment, but enlightenment, a deeper connection to the past, a critical eye on the present, and a hopeful gaze towards the endless possibilities of the future. Dreams to reality, the journey of creative thought in art and literature. The realms of art and literature are abounding with tales of inspiration sparked in the dead of night, dreams that have led to masterpieces, and flights of fancy that have birthed entire genres. The creative process is a labyrinthine journey where the subconscious mind weaves narratives out of the ether, and the artist or writer acts as a conduit, bringing these abstract conceptions into tangible existence. Undeniably, the path from a fleeting thought to a completed work of art or a bound volume of literature is both mystical and arduous, requiring a perseverance that is, in itself, a form of alchemy. Art and literature elevate the process of making the intangible tangible, exemplifying the human capacity to capture the ephemeral sparks of imagination and craft them into expressions that not only exist in our reality but also shape and enhance it. The quintessential beginning of such a transformative journey often occurs at a juncture where reality and the imagined blur, a daydream that captures the creator's attention, or an enigma that begins to unravel in the twilight of sleep. For many artists and writers, these fragments of dreams become the seeds of new worlds, characters, and narratives. The meticulous process of germination takes place as these seeds are nurtured with conscious thought, research, and the assimilation of myriad influences and experiences. Language and imagery, the very tools of the trade, are selected with a purposeful yet delicate touch to ensure that the dream is rendered into a form that captivates and resonates with others. In art, the painter might translate a vision onto canvas, stroke by stroke, the colors and shapes dictated by an inner directive that's as mysterious as it is compelling. The sculptor might see not a block of marble, but the figure slumbering within, awaiting liberation through the artist's hands. Literature, in parallel, is strewn with authors who have famously credited their dreams as the wellspring of their narrative adventures. The story of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein began as a waking nightmare, and, centuries later, Stephenie Meyer's Twilight Saga was famously born from a dream about a human girl and a vampire discussing their impossible love in a meadow. These dreams are distilled through the rigor of craft, the meticulous plotting of narratives, the development of believable characters, and the honing of dialogue, all serving to transport the reader from their own reality into another, equally as vivid and compelling. But the journey from an initial imaginative spark to a fully realized creation is seldom a straightforward one. It is replete with revisions and self-doubt, moments of near abandonment and surges of revitalized conviction. It's a delicate dance between the creator's original vision and the iterative process of creation that inevitably introduces new ideas and directions. Artists and writers often speak of their works as living entities that grow and evolve, sometimes taking paths unforeseen at the outset. The dream begins to shape itself, and the role of the artist or writer shifts from originator to interpreter, envisioning not just what is, but what could be. As these dreams are carved into reality, they carry the potential to touch hearts, spark new thoughts, and even incite change. Art and literature serve as platforms for social commentary, existential inquiry, and the exploration of the vast spectrum of human emotion. They can offer solace, challenge preconceptions, and inspire movements. The artist or writer, in giving life to their dreams, contributes to the collective consciousness, providing lenses through which we can examine our own lives and the world around us. Moreover, the evolution of these dreams into physical form resonates with the concept of legacy. Just as dreams are ephemeral, so too are the lives of those who dream them. Yet through the act of creation, the ephemeral becomes eternal. The thoughts and imaginations of creators from eras past are preserved and continuously rediscovered in galleries and libraries around the world. We read the same words penned by Shakespeare over 400 years ago, and we stand before paintings that have outlasted not just their painters, but whole dynasties and empires. The dream, once secluded within the recesses of a single mind, now persists beyond time, a testament to the enduring nature of human creativity. In considering the journey from dreams to reality within the spheres of art and literature, we bear witness to a remarkable human endeavor, the ability to translate the abstract and the unseen into something palpable. This transformative process underscores the potency of our imaginations, showcasing that our internal worlds have the potential to foster profound connections and shared experiences. Through the communion of creator and consumer, the dream is not solely owned by its originator, it becomes a part of us all, a shared dream that continues to inspire and be reimagined through each engagement. In recognizing this shared journey, we also acknowledge the courage it takes to undertake it. Great art and literature are often born out of a willingness to confront the unknown and bring forth something wholly new. This bravery to traverse the unpredictable path of creation is laudable. For every known work, there are countless others that remain shrouded in the private solitude of their creators, dreams that have yet to crystallize into form. Yet, it is precisely this possibility, the potential for any dream to one day break the bounds of imagination and be given substance, that fuels the perpetuity of the creative spirit. Ultimately, the path from dreams to reality in art and literature is as varied and unique as the creators themselves. It is a testament to both personal fortitude and the collective desire for story and representation, for connection and understanding through the shared tapestry of human experience. This journey reaffirms the fundamental human need to create and commune with beauty and meaning, a need that transcends cultures, epochs, and lifetimes. As we stand in the presence of a masterpiece or turn the pages of a book, we partake in an ancient and ongoing dialogue between what is and what could be, a dialogue that defines both the human condition and the unbounded reach of our collective imagination. Breaking barriers: how imagination liberates us from conventional limits. Throughout history, humanity's reach has often exceeded its grasp, led by the soaring power of its collective imagination. Imagination is our silent partner, the indomitable force that propels us beyond the immediacy of the present, through the barbed wire of the impossible, and into the hazy vistas of potential futures. To look at the annals of human achievement is to behold a tapestry woven from the threads of imaginative thought breaking through the fabric of conventional limits. We can trace the liberation offered by imagination by considering various facets of human endeavor. It's a journey marked by the footprints of visionaries, innovators, and dreamers who dared to believe that what existed in the mindscape could be manifested into the tapestry of our shared reality. Take, for example, the world of science. It's a realm often viewed through the lens of hard facts and empirical data, seemingly the antithesis of the imaginative spirit. Yet, if we peer closer, we see that the bedrock of scientific discovery is frequently the bold act of imaginative speculation. It is that what-if questions that precede the how-can answers. The quantum leaps in our understanding of the physical universe, our navigation of the human genome, or our dance with particles and waves at the subatomic level have all arisen because creative minds dared to look beyond accepted truths. Imagination, in these instances, provides the permission slip to explore the universe not only as it is, but also as it might be. Progress in scientific understanding is often the fruit of this speculative boldness. In business and entrepreneurship, imagination is the ally that guides pioneers toward uncharted territories. When industry leaders cast their gaze toward the horizon, they construct mental models of markets that don't yet exist, products yet to be desired, or services yet to be recognized as essential. Take Steve Jobs, for example, a maverick whose penchant for blending technology with artistry upended our relationship with personal computing and mobile communication. How did he achieve such feats? Through the audacious application of his imagination, which allowed him to envision and then create user experiences that today seem so intuitive, they are nearly invisible. Imagination in the sphere of entrepreneurship means more than just thinking up new widgets. It entails imagining new systems of interaction, new ways of connecting people, and new conventions for conducting the symphony of commerce. But imagine for a moment if innovation were confined to the boundaries of what is currently possible. Without the liberation afforded by an untethered imagination, the very tools and technologies that facilitate our modern life would remain latent in the ether of could have been. From the light bulb to the internet, from penicillin to the polio vaccine, our world is rich with examples of imagination birthing reality. It often takes a courageous act of envisioning a world transformed, a status quo disrupted, and a new normal established to lift society out of the gravitational pull of incrementalism. It isn't simply the purview of the prolific inventor or the maverick entrepreneur where imagination reigns supreme. The arts are the quintessential canvas upon which the human imagination operates free from restraint. Artists, writers, musicians, and actors, they are the alchemists who transmute the ephemeral wisps of thought and feeling into concrete expressions of human experience. Through the power of story, melody, color, and movement, they break barriers that might otherwise seem impermeable, communicating truths about our world and ourselves that might otherwise remain unspoken or unrecognized. The liberation that comes from the artistic imagination can trigger waves of cultural transformation, redefine what is considered beautiful or valuable, and propel shifts in societal norms and values. Furthermore, it's through cultural and artistic movements, think of the Renaissance, Romanticism, or the Harlem Renaissance, that imagination has diffused through societies, shaping and reshaping our collective consciousness, often in revolutionary ways. Beyond these tangible realms, imagination plays a pivotal role in our personal growth and self-understanding. When we imagine, we liberate ourselves from the constraints of our current identities, our failures, and our pasts. Imaginative thought allows us to construct narratives of who we might yet become, to experiment with different outcomes in the safety of our mind's theater before taking steps in our external reality. This is a profound kind of freedom, one that underscores our inherent potential for transformation. From the child who imagines herself as an astronaut exploring the cosmos, to the young adult visualizing a fulfilling career, or the elder reflecting on the legacy they wish to leave, imagination is the compass, map, and vehicle by which they traverse the landscapes of their evolving lives. It's this internal act of barrier breaking that empowers individuals to undertake the outward actions that align with their deepest aspirations and values. In essence, imagination is a tool of emancipation, a way for individuals and societies to break free from the chains of convention. It urges us to question why and to boldly assert why not. Whether it's transcending the limits of our knowledge, the constraints of our circumstances, or the confines of our cultural horizons, imagination invites us to step into a realm where boundaries are made to bend and break. At its core, unlocking the power of imagination is about recognizing the inherent capacity within each person to recreate and reshape their piece of the world, driven by the conviction that reality is pliable and the understanding that what is today need not dictate what is tomorrow. To empower imagination is to endorse a vision of humanity not as prisoners of the present, but architects of the future. It is to embrace the notion that the wheel of progress turns not merely upon the axis of what is, but upon the lever of what might be. Indeed, the human imagination is our greatest asset, the wellspring from which the waters of change perpetually flow. It is not a luxury or an idle pastime, but a vital instrument of evolution, as necessary to our species as the air we breathe. So, let us celebrate the indomitable spirit of imagination. It's not only what enables us to dream, but also what empowers us to achieve those dreams, to become more than we are, and to create a world that mirrors the grandeur of our most audacious hopes. Children's imaginary play, the roots of real-world problem solving. When we think about the foundations of problem-solving skills, we often imagine complex equations, algorithms, or perhaps the analytical thinking encouraged in school settings. However, the roots of these essential life skills are often nurtured much earlier through a playful yet powerful tool, children's imaginary play. As they assume the roles of superheroes, doctors, or even imaginary creatures, children are doing more than just having fun. They're engaging in a sophisticated form of mental exercise that has far-reaching implications for their cognitive development. The act of imagining creates a rich, mental playground where the traditional rules of reality are suspended, and new possibilities unfold. Here, within the make-believe worlds of fortresses made from sofa cushions, or kingdoms within backyard trees, the seeds of cognitive growth and problem-solving skills are sown. This type of play is not frivolous, it's a critical aspect of childhood that equips young minds with the flexibility and creativity they'll need to navigate the complexities of adulthood. Consider how, during imaginary play, a child alone with their toys can invent dialogues, scenarios, and outcomes. They are the master of their narrative, learning to negotiate, strategize, and adapt as their storyline unfolds. Thoughts and ideas are given a playground to be tested and tried, to fail and succeed, all within the safe haven of their imagined worlds. This process mirrors the scientific method of hypothesis, experiment, and conclusion, albeit on a much more instinctual level. As children play out various roles, they begin to understand perspective, empathy, and the subtle intricacies of social dynamics. The ability to see from another's vantage point, even if that other is a stuffed animal or invisible companion, is fundamental in later life for collaboration, leadership, and innovation. When children arbitrate disputes between their teddy bear and toy soldiers, they are practicing the rudiments of diplomacy and conflict resolution, skills that will later define their ability to navigate the social structures of the real world. Let's delve deeper into the role imagination plays in helping children overcome real-life obstacles. When a child pretends that the floor is lava and leaps from cushion to cushion, they are not merely having fun, they are honing their spatial awareness and honing their ability to assess risk and strategize. The ability to envisage different scenarios and outcomes directly translates to real-world problem-solving capabilities, such as project planning or managing emergency situations. The ingenuity shown in imaginary play can alleviate fears and help children to deal with changes and challenges. Pretending to visit the doctor can make the experience less intimidating when the time comes for a real appointment. Playing house can introduce the concept of responsibility and domestic tasks. By acting out these events, children prepare themselves mentally and emotionally for similar, future experiences. Furthermore, in the realm of invention and discovery, imaginary play and creativity are closely intertwined. Many of the world's greatest innovations have been a direct result of the inventor's ability to visualize something that does not yet exist. This is no different from a child imagining a fantastical machine to reach the cookies on a high shelf. Both scenarios rely on the power of visualization to solve problems. Imaginary play encourages children to use everyday objects in unorthodox ways, which is the cornerstone of innovation, the capacity to see beyond the conventional use to a new, imaginative purpose. When we understand the function of imagination in child development, we can take steps to encourage it. Parents, caregivers, and educators can provide children with the tools for imaginative play, costumes, props, and space, but what's more important is the freedom and time to explore these tools without too much structure or adult-imposed rules. Beauty lies in the child-driven narratives that unfurl during unstructured playtime. By observing the child's play, adults can ask questions and encourage further thinking, indirectly urging the child to deepen their engagement with their imaginary scenarios. In educational settings, moving away from a strict curriculum towards a more play-based approach could foster a generation of problem solvers. Instead of rote memorization, children should be given puzzles and open-ended tasks that encourage them to think differently. The ability to assimilate information creatively and apply it to new and novel situations is a skill that will serve them well in a rapidly changing world. To bring the relevance of imaginary play to a sharper focus, consider how the digital age has reshaped the landscape of playtime. Screen time, while informative and entertaining, often lacks the interactive and sensory-broadening experiences that come with physical, imaginative play. Encouraging time away from screens to engage in creative activities can help maintain the balance necessary for a child's all-round development. This is not to dismiss digital play, which can be rich in imaginative potential, but to emphasize the importance of diversity in a child's recreational repertoire. The benefits of imaginary play can even be performatively therapeutic. Play therapy, which harnesses the natural tendency of children to engage in pretend play, is used by therapists to help children express feelings, work through trauma, and solve problems in ways that transcend their verbal abilities. The dramatic play allows emotions and thoughts to be explored and understood in the language that children know best, play. Imagination, therefore, is not an escape from reality, it's a unique faculty that enables children to reframe and engage with reality on their own terms. It equips them with the resilience to face the unpredictable, the adaptability to thrive in a multitude of environments, and the creativity to envision a better world. When we consider the limitless applications of imagination, we begin to realize that the make-believe tea parties and caped adventures are not merely child's play, they are the training grounds for tomorrow's innovators, leaders, scientists, and artists. As we foster the playground of the mind, we are, in truth, fostering a foundational skill set for life's various arenas. Imaginary play is indeed the root, often underestimated, of the intricate tree that is real-world problem-solving. It's where the intangible qualities of creativity, critical thinking, and innovation begin to take form, teaching us that one of the best investments for our future may just lie in a box of costumes, a pile of building blocks, and the timeless tradition of children's play. The neuroscience of imagination, what happens in our brains when we dream? Embarking on a journey through the labyrinthine pathways of the human brain during the act of imagination, particularly when we dream, is akin to setting out on an expedition filled with mystery and marvel. Imagination, that wondrous faculty which liberates us from the shackles of the present and the constraints of reality, finds a vibrant expression in our dreams. It is within this state that our brains, unencumbered by our waking censor, construct narratives and scenarios that are both fantastical and revelatory. As we slumber, our minds traverse a landscape where the familiar blends seamlessly with the surreal, creating a tapestry of experiences that can be profoundly emotional, deeply symbolic, and occasionally prophetic. The brain, in its role as the master storyteller, does not simply generate a random series of images and events, but instead crafts a narrative with a complexity that rivals our waking thought processes. Under the hood of this narrative generation is an intricate process involving various regions of the brain working in concert. The limbic system, which houses our emotional center, takes a leading role during dreaming, particularly within the realm of rapid eye movement, REM, sleep, where dreams are most vivid and narrative-driven. The amygdala, a key structure within the limbic system, is especially active during REM sleep, which explains the intensity of the emotional content of our dreams. This heightened state can serve as a type of overnight therapy, as our brains process, confront, and work through the emotional detritus of our waking lives. Additionally, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for critical thinking and decision-making, dials down its activity when we dream. This relaxation of the reins of logic and reason might be what permits the boundless creativity and disregard for reality that marks our dreams. With the prefrontal cortex's grip loosened, the nonsensical can make perfect sense, and the impossible can seem utterly plausible. This altered state of consciousness allows our minds to think in ways that are unattainable during our waking hours, which illuminates why dreams can be wellsprings of creativity, offering solutions and insights that elude us in our conscious state. Meanwhile, recent neuroscientific research has brought to light the role of a lesser-known structure, the precuneus. This part of the parietal lobe is associated with self-consciousness and memory retrieval, and it's thought to be a key player in weaving the narrative thread of our dreams. When we dream, the precuneus may be what's responsible for pulling characters from our past and present into the storyline, turning our dream world into a theater populated by the familiar and the long-forgotten. It crafts a narrative by connecting disparate memories with the emotional themes of the dream, effectively creating a story arc where none existed. As we navigate these dreamscapes, we're also likely engaging our brain's default mode network, DMX. This network is most active when we're not focusing on the outside world, when we're daydreaming or letting our minds wander. The DMX is associated with self-referential thought and imagining the future. Therefore, during dreams, it could be that this network is helping us to simulate different scenarios, effectively letting us rehearse for potential real-life events. This could explain those dreams where we find ourselves brilliantly, or sometimes clumsily, navigating situations we fear or anticipate in our waking lives. Interestingly, the study of dreaming has also given us insight into the brain's abilities to simulate perception. Despite the absence of real sensory input from the environment, the brain's visual cortex, which processes visual information, is active during dreams. This suggests that the brain is remarkably capable of recreating vivid, sensory experiences solely from memory and imagination. Moreover, this indicates that our perception of reality is an internal construct as much as it is a sensory experience. The neuroscience of imagination, as it happens during dreams, provides a compelling argument for the role of dreams in the consolidation of learning and memory. Throughout the night, our brains cycle through different stages of sleep, with REM periods becoming longer towards morning. Each cycle offers a chance for the hippocampus, a region critical for memory formation, to replay the events of the day, encoding them into long-term memory. Dreaming, then, could be an extension of this process, embedding these memories deeper into the fabric of our neural networks. Our understanding of what happens in the brain during dreaming also has far-reaching implications for treating mental health conditions. For instance, the study of nightmares, where the brain's fear mechanisms go into overdrive, has led to innovative therapies such as imagery rehearsal therapy, IRT. Here, patients are taught to reimagine their nightmares with positive outcomes, effectively retraining their brains to break the cycle of recurring bad dreams. The investigation into this nocturnal activity, where imagination is both unfettered and richly complex, continues to fascinate neuroscientists and psychologists alike. Yet, despite the strides made in mapping the brain's activity during dreams, much remains shrouded in mystery. Dreams elude full scientific explanation, preserving their enigmatic allure and ensuring that the odyssey into understanding the depths of our imagination continues to both challenge and inspire. As we delve deeper into the neurobiological underpinnings of imagination, we steadily unravel the threads of this cognitive tapestry, revealing patterns and insights that not only reflect our inner workings, but also hint at the boundless potential of the mind. Imagination in education, fostering creative thinking over rote learning. The dichotomy of imagination and rote learning in education is a topic that has garnered significant attention from educators, psychologists, and policymakers alike. The tussle between imparting knowledge through memorization and encouraging a more abstract, creative thinking approach has shaped the face of modern education. On one hand, traditionalists argue for the value of rote learning, emphasizing the structure it provides and its role in building a strong foundation of facts and figures that are deemed essential for advanced understanding. On the other hand, progressive educational theorists advocate for a system that places a higher premium on imagination and creative thinking, proposing that such an approach not only enriches the learning experience but also better prepares students for the complexities and uncertainties of the future. Compelling research has supported the latter perspective, highlighting that the nurturing of imagination in educational settings can lead to a more profound and lasting comprehension of subject matter, enhanced problem-solving abilities, and an overall more adaptive and innovative mindset. Not only is imagination crucial for personal cognitive development, but it also has collective implications as societies grapple with novel challenges that require out-of-the-box thinkers capable of envisioning solutions unseen by the conventional mind. At the heart of this shift towards prioritizing imagination within educational landscapes is a recognition that knowledge is not merely a set of static, isolated facts, but a vibrant and interconnected web of ideas. A curriculum that promotes creative thinking encourages students to connect dots in unforeseeable ways, allowing them to draw upon diverse areas of knowledge. When learners are permitted, and better yet, encouraged, to use their imagination, they are often able to achieve deeper insights into the material at hand. They tend to weave narratives around data points, transforming them from abstract numbers or facts into memorable, comprehensible stories. This technique does not just aid retention, but also cultivates an aptitude for critical thinking. Students learn to question, to challenge, and to formulate hypotheses, all of which are essential skills for innovation and discovery. Furthermore, by fostering an environment where imaginative thought is not only allowed but rewarded, schools signal to students that their ideas hold value, thereby bolstering self-esteem and inciting a passion for learning. But how exactly does an education system rooted in imagination look in practice? It moves beyond traditional lecture-based delivery methods, where students passively receive information, expecting to regurgitate it on command. Rather, it emphasizes active learning strategies that invite student participation and curiosity. Project-based learning, an educational approach that engages students in complex, real-world problems, emerges as a prime example. Through such projects, learners are compelled to utilize a blend of knowledge, creativity, and critical thinking to devise and test solutions, often in collaborative settings that mirror the cooperative nature of most modern workplaces. Similarly, inquiry-based learning, where the student's questions drive the learning experience, encourages inquisitive minds to discover content naturally and organically, mirroring the exploratory nature of scientific research and artistic creation. Moreover, for imagination to truly take hold in the classroom, assessment methods must also evolve. Standardized tests, with their focus on multiple-choice questions and quantifiable results, often fail to capture the nuanced capabilities that imaginative thinking develops. Alternative forms of assessment, such as portfolios, performance tasks, and reflective writing, provide a wider lens through which to view student progress. These methods allow educators to recognize and measure creative problem solving and the ability to synthesize information across disciplines, competencies that traditional exams can overlook. The role of the teacher is also redefined in an education system that values imagination. Rather than the holder and distributor of knowledge, teachers become facilitators of learning, guiding students through their academic journey and encouraging them to pursue their interests and curiosities. This requires a level of flexibility and adaptability, as educators must be willing to depart from rigid curriculums and standard lesson plans, instead embracing opportunities for spontaneous exploration and discovery that arise from students' imaginative impulses. But perhaps most importantly, the infusion of imagination into education necessitates a cultural shift within schools and society at large. For too long, an undue emphasis on standardized testing and quantifiable results has stigmatized mistakes and failures, viewing them as setbacks rather than as vital components of the learning process. An imaginative approach, by contrast, celebrates creativity and the trial and error method, fostering an environment where students feel safe to take intellectual risks and experiment with new ideas. When failure is reframed as a stepping stone to success, learners are more likely to engage fully in creative problem solving, unafraid of the potential missteps that may occur along the way. In a world where automation and artificial intelligence continue to transform the landscape of work, the skills derived from an imaginative education, critical thinking, creativity, and adaptability are already seen as invaluable. The challenges of the 21st century will require individuals who can think beyond the confines of conventional wisdom, who can connect disparate pieces of information in novel ways, and who can approach problems with a fresh perspective. It is within the capacities of our educational institutions to cultivate these very skills, steering away from a narrow focus on rote memorization and instead fostering the boundless realm of human imagination. The goal is not to diminish the value of foundational knowledge, but to recognize that such knowledge is the starting point, not the end point, of learning. When schools become incubators for imagination, they prepare students not just to succeed in the world as it is, but to envision and create the world as it could be. And in such a world, the true potential of education is realized not merely as a dispenser of information, but as a catalyst for innovation, personal growth, and societal advancement. Imaginary Friends and Parallel Universes, exploring the boundaries of thought. When we delve into the realms of imaginary friends and parallel universes, we traverse the fascinating terrain of human cognition, where the boundaries between the real and the imagined become as fluid as the watercolors on an artist's palette. The concept of an imaginary friend, a confidant born from the recesses of our mind, often takes root in early childhood. These invisible companions serve a myriad of purposes, from being a playmate when real ones are scarce to a personalized tutor guiding us through the labyrinth of social and emotional learning. This might surprise some, but psychologists affirm the value of these unseen pals, noting their role in bolstering a child's communicative prowess and problem-solving skills. What's more, the act of nurturing an imaginary friendship can instill in one empathy and the ability to foresee others' perspectives, since, in a sense, the child is constantly engaged in a two-way conversation with an entity that solely exists in their world of thought. Now, let's tread a little beyond and peek into the sphere of parallel universes, an enticing concept that's not just the stuff of science fiction novels, but also the subject of serious scientific conjecture. The theory of parallel universes, or the multiverse as it's sometimes called, suggests the existence of multiple or an infinite number of universes that coexist with ours, each with its own distinct timeline and version of reality. While this might sound like the brainchild of a creative novelist, quantum mechanics and cosmology have provided frameworks within which some scientists suggest that these alternate dimensions could theoretically exist. The implications of this are as dizzying as they are exciting. Could there be another you reading an entirely different article at this very moment? Could every choice you make spawn a new offshoot of reality, where a different version of every event plays out? This theory stretches our understanding of reality and encourages us to view our existence as one of limitless possibilities. Academics in various fields, from physicists to philosophers, have weighed in with their interpretations, fueling an ongoing debate about the nature of reality and the human mind's ability to comprehend or even engage with these parallel worlds. Their musings invite us to ponder our place in the cosmos and the role imagination plays in grasping concepts that our sensory experiences alone cannot reveal. And here's where the magic happens. When we allow our imaginations to consider the existence of parallel universes or conjure up an imaginary friend, we're doing more than just indulging in fanciful thinking. We are expanding the very faculties that enable us to innovate and thrive. Creativity is not a static skill but a dynamic force that grows stronger the more we use it. It's through imagination that we're able to envision that which has not yet been invented, to see solutions where others see problems, and to dream of worlds that defy the constraints of our physical reality. What's particularly tantalizing about both imaginary friends and parallel universes is their capacity to inspire storytelling, which in itself is a powerful tool for exploration and discovery. Through stories, we can live vicariously through characters savoring the triumphs and travails of life in a multiverse, whether it's through the pages of a book or the pixels on a screen. In this process, we learn more about ourselves, our fears, our hopes, and our dreams. We understand that other realities, even the ones we make up, can have profound effects on our psyche and social behavior. Moreover, cultivating these flights of fancy can be therapeutic. In a world that often prizes practicality over imagination, allowing oneself the freedom to daydream can be a form of self-care. It can counterbalance the stress and pressures of everyday existence and provide a safe haven for mental exploration and relief. For those wrestling with personal issues, the act of envisioning a caring, omnipresent imaginary friend may offer solace and support when real-life relationships are strained or insufficient. Finally, considering the existence of alternate realities can be particularly empowering. It reminds us that our own world is just one version of a story that could have unfolded in countless ways, and that our current reality is neither fixed nor final. This recognition may encourage us to take risks and embrace change, knowing that our life's trajectory is but one of endless paths we might travel. It highlights the potential for transformation and the inherent flexibility of our existence. In essence, imaginary friends and parallel universes invite us to stretch our cognitive muscles, challenge our perceptions, and entertain the myriad wonders of what could be. They exemplify the human capacity to transcend the observable and touch the intangible, to question the boundaries of our known universe and to revel in the limitless expanse of our inner worlds. So the next time you find yourself whispering to an unseen companion or pondering the what ifs of an alternative reality, know that you are not simply daydreaming. You're engaging in an age-old, intellectually rigorous tradition that has the power to shape not just your thoughts, but the very essence of human progress and understanding. The alchemy of imagination, turning possibility into tangible progress. The human mind is an enigma, a beautifully complex organ that allows us to transcend the limitations of our physical existence. It is the realm in which the alchemy of imagination takes place, turning the leaden drudgery of our daily lives into golden possibilities. Imagination is our innate ability that shapes our reality, our creativity, and our innovation. It is the catalyst for change, the force that propels us forward into the unknown, and the tool we use to create and recreate the world around us. The capacity for imagination is what makes us uniquely human, distinguishing us from other animals. It allows us to conceptualize ideas that have never existed, to conjure images in our minds unseen by the naked eye, and to forge paths towards futures not yet born. This journey of turning possibility into tangible progress begins within the confines of the mind as a single, often fleeting, thought. The inception point of all great innovations, art, literature, and scientific breakthroughs lies within the fertile grounds of human imagination. Throughout history, the most influential figures have been those who dared to imagine a different reality: a scientist visualizing the unseen forces of gravity, an artist capturing the essence of human emotion on canvas, or a social reformer envisioning a more just and equitable society. Imagination is akin to an internal laboratory where the raw materials of knowledge, experience, and inspiration are mixed, merged, and molded to create something far greater than the sum of its parts. This alchemical process could be likened to an intricate dance between the conscious and the subconscious mind. On the surface, we engage our cognitive skills, delving into problem solving, critical thinking, and logical reasoning. Meanwhile, beneath that layer, in the secret chambers of the subconscious, the imagination weaves its magic, often unexpectedly, melding disparate thoughts, memories, and even our emotions to present solutions or ideas that our conscious mind may not have been capable of recognizing on its own. It is this interplay between the conscious and the subconscious that nurtures the seeds of progress, and when given the right conditions, these seeds begin to sprout. What differentiates imagination from mere daydreaming is its potential for application. Imagination takes flight when it moves beyond the abstract and marries with intention and action. It's one thing to imagine a novel mode of transportation that could revolutionize how we travel. It's entirely another to channel that imagination into the research, design, and engineering required to bring such a concept to life. Herein lies the alchemy. To actualize our imagination, we need discipline, perseverance, and a certain boldness to venture into the unknown. It is a process often fraught with trial and error, one that requires the kind of resilience capable of weathering disappointment and failure. The alchemy of imagination also demands a collaborative spirit. While one individual can spark a revolution of thought, the translation of that thought into reality often necessitates a collective effort. The merging of different imaginations can act as a crucible for creative synthesis, bringing together various perspectives, strengths, and expertise. The collective imagination can make ideas more robust and ensure that the fruits of this imaginative labor are shared more widely, leading to societal transformation and advancement. Education plays a crucial role in fostering this alchemical process. When learning environments encourage students to explore, question, and experiment, they are nurturing the imagination. When rote learning and regurgitation of facts are replaced with project-based tasks and critical discussions, students are empowered to think divergently. They learn to see connections where there were none, to question the status quo, and to dream of new possibilities. In nurturing imagination from a young age, we are not merely teaching children to think, we are equipping them with the alchemist's stone, enabling them to turn their imaginative musings into concrete achievement. There's a profound beauty in the realization that imagination is boundless, and within it lies the potential to alter our environment. The vastness of imagination means that there are no limits to what we can conceive. It is a universe in itself, infinitely rich with possibility. Its power lies not just in our capacity to dream big, but in our ability to bring those dreams into the realm of the real, influencing not just our immediate surroundings, but echoing changes that reverberate across generations and through time. In a world that sometimes seems beset with insurmountable challenges, the alchemy of imagination offers hope. It is a reminder that solutions are not always far-flipped or locked away in impenetrable vaults. Sometimes, they are floating around in the shared spaces of our collective consciousness, waiting for the right mind to pluck them from obscurity and breathe into them the breath of life. Imagination is both the treasure chest and the key. It holds the secrets to our greatest accomplishments and provides the means to unlock them. Through imaginative thought, what was once mere fantasy flows into the mainstream of reality, weaving itself into the fabric of daily life and gradually shifting the boundaries of what we accept as the norm. In the end, the alchemy of imagination is not just about inventing the new or changing the old, it is about expanding our sense of what is possible. The worlds we can create are limited only by the breadth and depth of our imagination. As we dare to play, to dream, to imagine, we embark on the ultimate adventure, one where every thought, hope, and vision has the power to become a stepping stone on the pathway to tangible progress. The worlds we imagine today could be the worlds we live in tomorrow, and therein lies the magic of our uniquely human gift.